Call this meeting of the Madeira Beach Planning Commission to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Gaither.
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Kerr.
Here.
Preston.
Here.
Commissioner Wyckoff.
Here.
Chairman Noble.
Forum. Thank you. Anyone here for public comment? Everyone off the speaker stands, please. I think we're good. Okay, no public comment. We will need a motion to approve the minutes, and we can take them one at a time if anybody's got any changes, or we can approve them all at once if you don't see any changes.
I'll make a motion that we approve all the minutes. I'll second that.
Okay. Would like to call the vote, please?
Commissioner Kerr.
Yes.
Commissioner Gaither.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Preston.
Yes.
Commissioner Wyckoff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, all the minutes are approved. That's for June 7, July 12, and August the 2nd. Thank you very much. Under new business, we have TCH 2021-09, text change request to amend the code sections addressing building height. Do you have anything from the city, please?
Yes, thank you. Thought I was ready. There we go. So the city has been amending the floodplain over the years, the floodplain ordinance and regulations. And one of the things that they've been doing is increasing the freeboard and making the bottom, or the occupied level of that first occupied floor above the floodplain by 1, 2, and then 4 feet. So, which makes it safer, but it's making it increasingly difficult to develop because we have not, as a city, been going back through and amending the heights of buildings. And so what's been happening is squeezing them, yeah. So in some cases, sometimes people can't even get a second story in now because it's squeezed to a level there's just no space. Or you can't put a pitched roof on, you'll be obligated to put a, flat roof. So the proposals here are changes that are necessary to respond to that and have those floodplain changes and that freeboard and have the houses raised proportionate to that change. We would just change the definition to call it the design flood elevation, if you've ever seen that. Sometimes we have the base flood elevation and the design flood elevation, and some places the design and flood elevation is defined by the base plus freeboard, but in other places they use that differently. So to make it clear, we just went ahead and said base flood plus freeboard. So that's what you're going to see in here are actual measurements where measurements were required in code, and then we'll go on and change the definition as well. And then there's one additional change to the C4 district, which currently reads you can only have a single-story building. But of course, there's almost no single-story building in the C4. Everything along the docks are actually two-story buildings. So in order to fix that, so that the entire docks are not non-conforming, and obviously if we get any kind of catastrophe there, it'd be very difficult to build back single-family or story buildings because of floodplain requirements. So we wanted to recommend that we go to at least a two-story building there. That's something that you may be looking at again in greater detail later when we come back with the activity center and building requirements. Not saying you would want to change them or even that we would recommend that, but it's something that'll come up again later. But for the moment, while we're changing the heights, we need to acknowledge that there's an inconsistency between what the code allows and what's actually built out there. So the staff is recommending change of several sections of the ordinance all dealing with the building heights in R1, R2, R3, C1, C2, C3, and C4.
Very good, thank you. Do we have any public comment that we received on any of these items? Or is anyone out there in internet land wanting to say anything? We're
No,
good?
we did not receive any notices.
Okay. Anything from the planning commission?
So I just have one question for clarification. You said the C4 was being changed to two-story. That's not underlined there. It's underlined two-story on C2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay. C2 is what I should have said. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good catch, because the C2 is the Johns Pass
Right.
district.
Right.
The other
Right,
is
just-
marine commercial, not Johns Pass.
Right, and it's just right along the boardwalk, really. It's a very small district.
Right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I did have a question. On the page 17, regarding height, and it's using grade from the high to the highest finished roof surface, and yet we're using base flood elevation in many of the other areas. Two things. One, I don't know that grade is defined, and further in that paragraph it says that the height may be measured from the base flood elevation plus required freeboard to the highest point. Should that be, is may the proper term, or is required, or is it?
Can you direct me to where are you reading?
The
it?
paragraph,
Oh, I see.
section
The height may be
82-2,
measured. Right.
it's just confusing to me a little bit.
Okay.
Is it using grade, and then that's not defined, and then...
Okay. In regards to grade, grade is a industry standard that it measures from the ground at the outside of the building wall. And we will look through the definitions to see about whether that needs to be added in specifically in the definition section as well, because we are in the process of also amending the definition.
Well, I bring it up specifically, I guess, because of that 18 inches from the garage level from the center of the...
Ray, can I hang up for just a second? Sorry, we've lost power and they're not able to record. So we have to hang tight for
Okay.
just a minute while he resets so the meeting can be recorded. Sorry.